Hey there guys, just wanted to show you my Salamangreat deck that I've updated. I posted this in the Salamangreat groups, however people wanted a bit more of a video explanation with some more in-depth notes on it, so I figured I would bring that to you guys for my first video back. So we'll just kind of jump into it. It's pretty straightforward though. For starter cards you have 3 Signet Mining, 3 Lady Debug, 1 Circle, 2 Foxy, and a Gazelle. There's 10 starters here, and it's a bit on the lower side. You actually want between 11 and 14. However, with Salamangreat, you have an advantage in that all of your cards are like soft starters, and that they all kind of get you going regardless of whether or not they're true starters or not. So having 10 is an acceptable amount, though if there were better high-quality starters, we'd still play more. One thing to note here is that Debug is played over Buffalo because this follows into my philosophy of the path of least resistance when I'm deck building. And that just means that I want to have my deck do what it's supposed to do with the least amount of choke points possible. And this offers you that in a more efficient way than Buffalo does. Whereas Buffalo is a more powerful card, giving you 2 cards as opposed to 1. This just gets you straight to the card you're looking for and lets you extend your plays there from going from there. Another big point too is that this is a level 4, which is incredibly important now because this is basically a Dweller Turbo deck. And so that's why Debug is correct over Buffalo, is that in order to see Debug and have it be efficient, you just need to draw Debug. In order to have Buffalo be efficient, you need to draw Buffalo and the extender to discard, and then you need to either draw 2 non-engine cards that are really good, or like 1 in a hand trap, or like 2 engine cards. There's just so many more variables associated with Buffalo that Debug tends to be more consistent across the board. Next, you've got your extenders, and we'll go with 3 Pot of Desires, 3 Parallel Exceed, 2 Jack Jaguar, 2 Spinny, and a Falco. I don't think I need to explain Falco. 2 Spinny is correct. You have all your starter cards get you to Spinny whenever you want it, so you don't need to see more. Same with Jack Jaguar. Jack Jaguar, though, also has the bonus of being a 1-card normal summon, leading to access code to destroy 3 cards in the field by just having the Jack Jaguar and nothing else. So that gives it a huge boost in terms of power and efficiency, and that's why it's correct to play it at 2. Parallel Exceed I don't need to explain. I see a lot of people play 2 copies of Pot of Desires, and that's just incorrect. Being able to draw 2 at the cost of 10 cards you probably weren't going to access is correct. It's too powerful. There's also the advantage that the games that you would lose by activating a Pot of Desires, you were probably going to lose anyway, or you were already in such an awkward position that winning was an uphill battle. This just makes your deck more consistent in the long run, and that's why I always advocate to play 3 of this card in basically every deck in the game. So for the defensive cards, you've got 3 Nibiru, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Effect Veiler, 3 Infinite Impermanence, and then I was actually playtesting 2 Ghost Mourners. Ghost Mourner was incredibly underwhelming. I just wanted to see how it would go against more combo decks and stuff like that, but I think going forward I'd probably cut this for either more consistency cards or just some better defensive cards that I had in general. Impermanence and Veiler I don't think need to be discussed, and Ash is obvious because it's a fire. Nibiru is kind of a polarizing defensive card this format, in that it's really good against the best 2 decks and it's like awful against basically everything else. But I just wanted to have it because I'm always looking to build my deck, even if it's just for local. I always build it as if I was going to a YCS. I want my deck to be as powerful and consistent as possible, to be as good against the best decks as possible, and so this is correct to main if you're worried about Adamantipator and combo Eldritch. For removal, you've got 1 Rage, 1 Roar. You don't need more than that. They're highly searchable. It goes in line with the same concept of why you don't maximize your copies of Spinny or anything else like that. Also, these don't win you the game directly. They lower the opponent's ceiling, so you're able to Sunlight Wolf control the game, but that's not necessarily a winning strategy, is to just rely on defensive cards that don't actually extend your plays at all. So that's why there's just 1 and 1. And if you banish them off Desires, it's not that big of a deal. 1 copy of Sanctuary, of course, it's an engine requirement. And then for the bombs, I played 1 Reborn, 1 Will, Will being a hit off of Foxy gives it a bit more of a bonus over Reborn. However, I wanted the variance of Reborn being able to just summon back like a Transcode Talker or something like that if needed. Going forward, I would probably just play the 2 Will and cut the Reborn though. Or I could actually play Foolish Burial in place of the Reborn and just have another extender. For the side deck, you've got Baguska, Abyss Dweller, pretty standard. Lingaribo, this is just for Adamance or for Eldritch, Splash Mage, Update Jammer, Transcode, or Access Code and Transcode. This is the win condition of the whole deck now, honestly. Most of your games you'll grind, and then once you get them into a kill shot, you'll just summon this and end the game. This card's insane. And then you've got the standard 3 Balinks, 3 Sunlight Wolf, 2 Helio. Don't think any of that needs explanation. For the side deck, you've got 3 Phantasme, 3 Cosmic Cyclone. These are more reactive cards for when I go second. Phantasme is primarily for the combo decks, and I just wanted to have something that I could just draw that would get me to more defensive options and give me a longer or a more consistent game against decks like Eldritch Synchro and things like that. That's the only deck I'm really, truly concerned about when I'm signing up with this deck for any tournament is Eldritch Synchro. However, it ended up being incredibly underwhelming as a whole, and so going forward, I would consider maybe not playing that. Another card I definitely would not want to play again is 3 Evenly Matched. I say it all the time, I think Evenly Matched is just a terrible card. Some of them it was very average in my testing, and then Red Reboot, and these were originally Ghost Ogres. I don't know where I put them, but these were Ghost Ogres when I played the deck most recently and posted it. These are just kind of there just to be tested in random stuff. But that's the deck. If anyone has any questions or anything, you guys can always post in the Salamangreat groups or in the comment section below. Thanks, guys.